In about an hour, Vice President Mike Pence will formally receive what North Korea says are the remains of American service members missing since the Korean War. But there are questions about what is really in that shipment. Tonight, correspondent Dan Springer is in Honolulu to tell us how scientists will try to figure out. Good evening, Dan.
Yeah, hey, Brett, among the 55 containers of remains, there is just one dog tag, and that concerns some people, but we're told that it's really not that unusual considering the war ended 65 years ago, and those remains have been in North Korea this entire time. The caskets were flown to South Korea late last week, and there was a ceremony there before they made the trip today to Hawaii. Vice President Pence is here at Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam and will give a short speech as he formally receives the remains. His father was a Korean War hero, receiving the Bronze Star. Also participating in the ceremony will be a Korean War veteran named Herb Schreiner. He'll be an honor guard, and it will be an emotional day for him. His younger brother Alan was killed in the war by a landmine. His body did come home, but over 7,600 servicemen killed in Korea are still missing.
I know how it feels to have somebody that lost their lives for freedom to come home. I feel it. And I feel bad for those who cannot identify to receive their dads or brothers when they come home.
After the ceremony, the remains will stay here on base at the Defense POW MIA Accounting Agency, or DPAA. It's the premier forensic anthropology group in the entire world. Last year, it made a positive identification of 201 sets of remains, providing closure for their families. The process is extensive and can take between months and, in some cases, many years. But the men and women who do the work know how important the answers are.
One of the few countries in the world that spends this type of effort and time and money to bring closure to our military families, and each and every one of those families has been made a promise by the U.S. military to come home. We're the end of that promise.
The next diplomatic step from the Americans' perspective is to hopefully get North Korea to allow field teams to go back in country to look for more remains. The last time that happened, Brett, was 2004. Brett.
We'll cover that live tonight when it comes in. Dan Springer, live in Honolulu. Dan, thanks. The Federal Reserve is holding interest rates steady.